What's up, everybody? Drama back with another review, this time for Planet Coaster on PS5. It's a PS Plus game for February 2022. The game is a theme park simulator where you are tasked with creating and or managing your theme park. So that will include staff and customer happiness, profits, losses, finances, all that good stuff. And it gets pretty in-depth, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. I don't think that there's a ton of micromanagement necessary. I often have left my prices where they start at from a base level and have not run into too many issues with that. So if you want something that gets super hardcore where you have to micromanage everything, game may not be for you, but for those of us that just kind of want to ride some rides and build some crazy parks, this is definitely a good starting point. Speaking of riding rides, you can ride everything in the game, all of the standard rides as well as the preloaded coasters, DLC coasters, and coasters that you build, which is really cool. I think I didn't spend a ton of time riding the rides, but the fact that you can is it's a nice bonus, and it's fun to do from time to time. The game itself consists of a sandbox mode, so you can just kind of do whatever your heart desires, a career mode where you're tasked with managing preloaded levels and amusement parks and hitting certain goals, and then a challenge mode, which is where this here footage is from, where you build a park and have to meet certain challenges such as scenery levels, or have a coaster that's X meters long or goes so fast, or certain happiness levels. So I think that's pretty well rounded from that perspective. You can spend hours and hours in any of those modes, which is good. So there's a lot of replayability, although there's only a set number of rides. I'm not sure how many it is. It's above 30 in total, but a lot of the rides look kind of the same. So if you're planning on just riding the rides, at some point it will get old, but it might take quite a while before that happens. As far as finances, like I said earlier, you can get into some pretty crazy stuff you see here. Some of the levels that are tracked, I won't get into many of them too detailed, but you can, although the amount of detail may not be what everyone is looking for, in fairness, as I had mentioned earlier. The trophies themselves aren't too terrible. The career mode is probably where you're going to spend most of your time as far as trophies go, and honestly, if there's a block to getting the plat, it's going to be from the career mode, because some of the later levels can prove to be somewhat difficult, and depending on your level of comfort with the game management and other just your your math skills, I guess, in some instances, you may find some of the levels to be rather daunting. That said, I think most people with enough diligence should be able to get it. The trophies, the plat in total probably takes, I don't know, I would guess 40 to 50 hours for most people. Certainly, I can imagine you can do it faster than that, and other people may go slower. I, in fact, may go slower than that. I didn't actually track how long the game has taken me, so grain of salt. So we've touched on a lot of the stuff I normally cover, except for faults. So as far as faults go, game is not perfect by any stretch. One of the big issues I had with the game is that it doesn't tell you how to do a lot of stuff you need to do. Specifically offhand, it doesn't tell you how to put building types and facilities inside building shells, and you need to do that in one of the career levels. So that was a pain in the butt to figure out. I did eventually do it, but if you've never played one of these types of games, honestly, you may never figure it out, which is troubling. I also found the coaster building controls and ratings to be poor. Specifically the ratings. The building controls, it's on a controller, so it is what it is. I think they could have been better, but whatever. They're not the worst that I could imagine. However, the rating system is awful. I would regularly be told that my coaster is too scary and too nausea-inducing, which, okay, that may be true. I made some pretty crazy coasters. However, in saying that, the game would also tell me that my coaster is not exciting. And that makes no sense at all. Fear and, feeling like you could get a little sick are what make roller coasters fun. So if I'm going to have crazy ratings on the fear and nausea induction, then I should have a super exciting roller coaster, even if nobody wants to ride it. So I think that didn't make really any sense at all, and could use a lot of tweaking. Other than that, honestly, I really enjoy the game. I think it's super fun. It's just, there's some stuff that could be better. It does have a lot of variety, give you a lot of replayability in my opinion, and especially since it's a Plus game, if you're low on PS5 games as I am, it's definitely worth checking out. Drama?